That is hilarious, Candy. Oh,
What up, what up, what up, good people? On this Saturday afternoon. Sorry that we're late. We thought we had already started the doggone live, and we have not. We've been talking for a good 5, 6 minutes. But
yes.
hey, technical difficulties, it is what it is. It wasn't technical, it was me. What's up, Avery?
Right,
How you
Inga.
doing?
Oh, that is so funny.
Um,
Oh my
how
God,
you
Candy.
doing?
Okay, so yes, I am doing good. Just ready for this episode 7 recap. We wait until Saturday, but
Hmm.
man, this episode, ever since I watched it, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
Right, right. Hey, Miss Inga.
Hey, Miss Singer, thank you for sliding through.
Thank you. Yeah. So,
Hey, Terry.
hey, hey, Derry B, Miss Nola.
Yes,
How are
that is the
you?
Nola Queen.
That is the Nola Queen. Yeah. So this episode started out. Well, first of all, let's do it. Let's rewind because I had already. We thought we was in the show. How did
Let's
you feel
bring it
about this
on back.
episode?
I thought this was a great episode. It almost seemed like a finale, low key. I was feeling like, wow, even after this episode, I don't know what else do we need to see? It might be like something like a prequel, maybe like, because
Hmm.
they do like to go back and forth time jumping. So that's what I'm thinking. It might time jump on us, but this episode was so good. Um, yeah. I can't wait to
Yeah.
start going through scene to scene. It
Yeah.
was
It
every
put me in my
moment was a
feelings.
moment.
It put me in my
Yes.
feelings really, really bad from the beginning. And I'm gonna bring that picture up where we see Babe in her bed, and it's like she's getting ready to start her day. That really made me feel like something was gonna happen, or we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get some kind of bad news, but not exactly what we got eventually. So we see Babe getting her day started. She is always put together. She is this well put together lady. She, has her hair done, her face done, her nails are always put together, her jewelry is always on. She's always dressed very nice, not looking like us in these doggone t-shirts and swoops and stuff. She got her coif and her aquanet laid on, thick, thick. How did you feel about this episode once we see that her hair starts to fall out? And then she goes to the
Oh,
doctor with her scarf on. Um, and does the reveal to him. How did you feel about that?
I thought, okay, I definitely felt sorry for Babe when her hair was falling out in the bathroom. But when she got to the doctor, not that any strand, like if you are going through chemo and your hair is falling out, anyone will react dramatically. And like you can only
Hmm.
imagine. But
Right.
knowing Babe, it's just like you pulled the scarf off and you still had the same hairstyle. You still had the same hairstyle, like perfectly in place, regardless of the hair that came out this morning. Like she had her head covered up, like she was about to pull it off and half bald. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this lady. But that just
Yeah.
goes to show how much she just knew that her image was her currency, basically.
Hmm.
She had
Yeah.
to be looking like something at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, she had to look like something. She's always has to be put together for herself,
Mm-hmm.
for her husband, for the people that she sees on a day-to-day basis. Like she's always in pristine, she always looking tight and right every time everybody sees
Right.
her. And earlier you was mentioning before we got on the live about the video that you sent to me this morning on YouTube. Can
Mm-hmm.
you talk about that just a little bit?
Yes. So that video, it was I'll make sure that I'll put the link in the live so that y'all can check it out too. Or y'all probably seen it in the community. But yes, the video was basically just going over how like Babe has always had to keep up appearances. She was very conscious of like who was watching and what angle how she was going to be looking at from what angle. Like she just knew from a very young age. Her mother raised her and her two sisters, yeah, it's like three girls all together. She raised them to be wives, so
Right.
they've been chasing the bag. they've been using what they got to get what they want out here.
Okay.
You know that
Yeah.
they said Babe could have been like a big editorial, like a fashion editor or
Mhm.
whatever, but she was like, "No, why would I take that job? Like, I needs to be pulling in this man." And I'm like, "Oh
Okay.
my gosh!" Like, but you had it. You almost had it yourself, and then you just surrendered to all of Bill's long term just abuse at the end of the day. Hey,
Mhm.
my sweet perfection.
Hey, how you doing? I cried real tears on this episode, but I'm ready for the season to be over. Yes, I did too. I did tear up for real, for real.
Yes,
Especially at the end, I was like, dang.
they did. Oh, it was
I'm not
graphic,
ready for
huh?
it to be over. I'm just sad. Like, what would episode 8 give us? Like you said, it may be a time jump, maybe.
Yeah,
Hopefully, well, shoot, we shall see.
we shall
So in the
see.
pictures I have put up here, we see Babe is talking to Bill, and she reveals to Bill that she has 6 months to live. Um, we don't do that. We don't feel that way. Jesus is my
Ooh,
doctor. He tells me
right. I'm about to be
here's the
here
final
for
say
another.
so.
Right. She
Okay,
went on
we
and
not we
claimed
don't
that.
yeah, we don't claim that thing like that. Hey,
Mm-mm.
we could be leaving here tomorrow and be like, no, Jesus is my
No, no,
doctor.
no.
He is the clock. I know, not no
Right.
doctor, you know.
Ooh, that is a
She
fact,
she
Candy.
gave in too easy to that. Yeah. So Bill was trying to tell like, stop smoking. Why are you smoking? You're doing all this, and I, I can get it, but then she tells him about her vices. She used alcohol and ciggies, as she called them, and it was to keep her sane while being married to him. Because I
Mhm.
guess because he made her feel so bad, the way he treated her by having all those mistresses and things like that, and she, tells him like, stop buying all these paintings, all this jewelry, stop doing all that. That does nothing for me, and it really doesn't do anything for it. It's just a band-aid at the end of the day.
Right.
How did you feel about their conversation?
I really like the way that Babe was just snatching Bill by his edges. She was getting him all the way together. It was like, "Bout time. Bout
Yeah,
time." So yeah,
yeah,
she was telling him what she just wasn't about to do, and he couldn't do nothing but sit there and take it. And he was
yeah,
just like, "Oh, so I mean, how do you exert anger towards someone that you tell you're not gonna be you're gonna be gone in 6 months?" Or
right.
however he said it. And she was like, "Well, I guess this is the anger phase." Tuh,
Mm-hmm.
and do something.
Yeah, they
And
was
it was
going through
just
their
like,
grief and their grief and anger stage, as she said.
yeah,
But
she's grieving her own life. Like, and I think that she's just
yeah,
at that phase to just be like, all right, man, I guess like it is what it is.
and
I'ma
then she
go.
doesn't
She
have
might be
Truman
tired. She's
either.
tired.
Yeah, she's tired, and then she doesn't have Truman either to make her feel better, because I
Right.
could see him being a part of her feeling better about what's going on with her transition. I could see
Mhm.
that assisting her with leaving. But hey,
Or
and then
even
they talk about
helping
the
her to
daughter.
stay a little longer.
Yeah, yeah. It's like she has nothing to live for because she doesn't have a relationship with her children. Her husband came her best friend at the end, and then she
Right.
doesn't have her best friend, Capote, Truman. Let me stop saying his name wrong. Truman, to be there for her in her darkest time. Um,
Right.
and then the conversation about the daughter, I was like,
Ooh,
so you really, really messed that child up. And the son, as she
all of
stated,
them.
they both messed up their children, you know, one way or another. And that was very sad to me, just to
It
hear the
was.
conversation.
It really was. And I ended up
Yeah.
watching another hour-long little document rabbit hole about all the swans. And it was a few other swans that were in this circle of women, but all of them at that time frame were just
Hmm.
like terrible parents because they catered to their husbands instead of the
Yeah.
kids that they just end up having. They knew like, okay, if I'm gonna be sticking around, regardless if I had these kids, like I got a nanny and a granny.
Hmm.
I'm about to be my man, my man, my man.
Right. My man, my man, my man. What's up, OT?
What
OT?
up, though,
Thank you for
OT?
coming through.
Yes.
Yeah, sweet perspective. That was sad finding out that she
So
was estranged from her daughter. That
sad.
was really, really sad. We only saw one, maybe two interactions with the daughter. I know the birthday party was one, and that was
Mhm.
like real bad. Like she was toasted and wasted, and she went and got in that tub and turned that shower on. I was like, what the hell is going
Fell
on?
all down. Like, what was you gonna do?
Yeah.
Was you about
And
to
then she
take a
set up
bath?
like, if somebody find me, let them find me kind of, cute now. Let me say something.
Right. I won't be messed up. I can't
Right.
be wet in the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. So now we see that she's at the lunch with the ladies, and we hear Lee discussing something about a prenup and engagement ring. I don't know how many husbands she's had. Uh,
Mm-mm.
but I
This
do
lady
know
here.
she's Jackie O's sister, baby
Yep.
sister. So she's from a, I think they're well to do. Those people are, were well to do, but she just still has to have a man that's rich and whatnot. And they discussing a prenup and that conversation. Well, I guess the most important thing to me about the conversation was, Babe planning her funeral and like the repast.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
I was like, okay, when she first started talking about she wanted to plan a fabulous party, I was
Hmm.
kind of thinking that maybe she was saying like before she go, but I said, oh no, this lady, she is that much of like a perfectionist that she got to make sure
Hmm.
she going out the way she approves of, not something that
Yes.
Slim and build and put together on her behalf. Cause he that would
So
been the first person that he assigned to the case. Like,
exactly. So at this time, she does know that Slim and Bill
I don't
but
know still.
they're still at dinner. Like why? Like we still
Right.
you my bestie, but you sleep with my husband,
And ain't
and
called her out. And now
yeah,
she
like
gone, so we know that we're never getting that moment. We're not getting that conversation.
hopefully they'll give it to us next week. Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully,
maybe
hopefully,
they'll do a little
hopefully.
flashback. It sounded like
Okay,
the
sound
only
like
reason Babe didn't meet up with Truman was because of Slim and Ali. Who you talking about?
it'll be
It wasn't
Lee,
Oh,
Slim, and
Lee,
Lee.
yes. Yeah, I agree. She was getting on them
Yeah,
like, "You the reason why my friend ain't around." But
right,
at the same time, she end up saying like, "If I apologize, that'll be weak, or that'll just I don't know what I forgot exactly how she was putting it." I was like, "Babe, make up your mind." But she definitely was putting it on Lee, like, what would be the part of it? What would be so bad if you were to be seen with him?
right. Because Lee, Slim, Lord, I think Slim betrayed her way more than Truman. Yeah, yeah, I agree
Facts.
with that. Yeah, yeah,
That is a fact.
yeah. And then she
At
didn't want
least
people to
Truman.
say anything. Like that's why she's, talking to him, even though he did that write up. She was like, I should have just laughed it off or whatever,
Yeah,
not just,
right.
played into it. So in this picture, we see that she is ear hustling,
Mm-mm.
which is never a good thing, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on ear hustling on those types of conversations?
Oh
And then
my
that's like going through the
god.
phone too.
Yeah, this is pretty much going through the phone. I would never, unless it was just a real intuition that was like, you need to hear this or you need to see
Hmm.
this. Go through somebody phone or listen on the call just because I would hate for it to happen to me. But
Hmm.
she had already low key heard who Bill was talking to when he picked up the
Hmm.
phone. So I think that's the only reason why, maybe not the only reason why, babe, but if it was me, that would be the only reason I'd be like, okay, validated. I'm about to listen and
Right.
see what my daughter talking about.
I don't know if I want to know what my child feel about me because she said, don't call me until you hear the death rattle. And I said, what
I
the
said, oh,
hell?
I
No, no,
was
no, no,
stunned. I said,
no.
wow.
That was heavy. That was heavy. That was heavy.
Yes.
That was some heavy artillery.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I said,
And that
"Wow,
really
Kate."
broke her heart. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, you knew how your daughter felt about you, but I don't know if I would wanted to know that she don't want to be there until the death rattle.
like,
No.
dang.
Mm-mm. No. So now we see Babe in her whatever kind of
All
car this
white
is.
Phantom,
Uh,
whatever this is. What
listen,
is this? The Ghost, the
Bentley, Rolls
Sydney Phantom,
Royce, Phantom, something,
something.
something, Maybach or whatever it is. I don't
Right.
know. Driven by the black man, of course. Um,
Oh,
it's a nice house. It's multiple rooms, and she has a whole lot of um acres. She has acreage, as we spoke about
yes.
CZ and her acreage. Um, so she gets out the vehicle, and the guy with the wheelchair, I was like, dang, babe, we down to the wheelchair now? Like, it's that bad?
Right.
I guess so, because she has 6 months to live, but she's still fine though. Look at it. She got a hat on, her
Right.
gloves on, she got a fur coat on, got the fur around the neck. She just laid, okay?
I said, oh,
How do
she
you
done
feel
found
about,
her some
just seeing
gloves.
her? Yeah, she found some gloves. Yeah. How do you see about seeing her, in this moment?
I think this was just her like taking it all in for the last time, like how she was telling the ladies at the at lunch, like, yes, I've lived a life. Like,
Hmm.
it was like a crazy or whatever she described it as, but she was like, I've lived a life. I think this was that moment of like, damn, like I really have experienced wealth, or like the epitome of what she wanted to be. What's up, Monique? Thank you for
Hey,
stopping by.
Momo. Yeah, she did. She did break
From
her
the
own
day.
heart with that one. Listening to that phone call. Yeah, yeah, she couldn't. She shouldn't. Yeah,
Right,
I
that's what
wouldn't pick
Candy
up the phone,
said.
Monique. Because that was bad. That was bad. That was bad. Yeah,
And
that
Bill
was.
couldn't do nothing about it. He was just stuck too, like,
Yeah. I'll talk to
right.
her. I'll see what, just he's like, I'll talk to her. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you'll go ahead
I
and
can
go
get
do
her
what
to
you're gonna
listen.
do.
So she listens to me sometime.
Sometime.
Like,
Right,
boy,
right,
when has she ever?
right. So she seems like she's writing. Well, I know it's what she was writing, but in her diary or in her book, her last thoughts and things like that. She is just still put together. She's still pretty and
Mm-hmm.
beautiful in the home. It's just like unfortunate that she is taking her last moments by herself. I guess she did need that time by herself, not with Bill, to be one with nature. As we see, she's on her damn fur coat, child, digging in the
Right. She said,
digging in
forget
the
it.
dirt. But I guess she doesn't care now. And then she had a whole lot to say, and I didn't get some of those notes, but it was very. I like what she was saying about how things were important, what was not important, things that she could have changed had she, just lived her life differently. But that's everybody's take when they're on their
Right.
deathbed, though. So
Mm-hmm.
that was, very, sad to me in that moment. So they are at dinner, and everybody is there. I don't know who these people are.
I
Maybe
was
they're
gonna say,
workers or
Candy,
something.
I was very confused by this.
Papa, who these people?
Who is these people, Hoppo? I said, babe, do not want no black folks all up at her. Everybody in there was ethnic. Babe was
Hmm.
having a
Yes,
fit.
yes. Everybody had some color to their skin. Yes,
She was
yes.
losing it.
Everybody.
I said,
Yeah.
okay, what in the world? She dying, going out like having this delusion, I guess. Like, I'm surrounded
She clearing
by
her
people
heart.
of
She
color.
clearing everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, child. Okay, set yourself off.
Okay.
um. But we do see now. I guess she saw a moth in a lampshade, and it was doing a whole lot of fluttering and carrying around. I guess that did something to her, maybe in that moment. I don't know, but she ended up waking up in her bed. She is dreaming, of course. That she is with Truman, and he's reading her diary. How did you feel about this sequence of events? Like, this was special to me. It really
Yes.
made my heart smile.
Mm-hmm. I thought that this part, of the show was very, very poetic, and the way that it made me feel like when you feel like a spirit is in a certain section in the house, it's because
Mm-hmm.
they ain't ready to go yet. They don't want to go and look at the fireworks yet. And Truman was like, We can stay here forever. Just as
Right,
long as you
right.
want to. Like, we ain't got to go yet. And I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, like, what are we witnessing right now? Then we seen Babe in her bed, and I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah,
Yeah,
she
I was
looked really pretty and
so
young, and
heartbroken.
just the way
Yeah,
that they got
yeah.
dressed up for the Oscars in the she was like,
Okay.
where did I wear this? And he was
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
you never did. We wore it
yeah.
inside. We
You be
stayed
doing
that's
that voice
where we
for.
stayed inside for the Oscars because they were a snooze fest.
Yes, sweet perspective. It was beautiful and tragic at the same time. That it really it
Yes.
broke my heart. I tell you, I'm telling you, this thing had me all in my feelings for real, for real.
I wasn't
Um,
expecting that.
their conversation was so touching. It was just their interactions with each other. It was just like they were two lost souls that needed, like trauma bonding in a sense,
Oh
but it was
yeah.
happy, like they loved each other for real, for real. And you could really tell that they did. Even before now, you could tell that they did love each other. Um, it was just sad to see. I didn't get the picture of them. I don't think I did. No, I didn't get the one with them with the swan in the tub. I
Oh
think
yeah.
that was so sweet. About the
Oh
tub
yeah.
being
That
filled,
made
and
me
the
feel
swan was
something.
there, and it was sitting there so beautifully, like they
Right.
knew it was the end. It was just coming to the end for them. As much as they knew how to love, I believe they really loved each other. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
agree.
think they were each other's true love because we
Hmm.
see Truman with all his relationship problem, he can't keep it together with Jack and whoever he dating, and the
Hmm.
same with Babe. Like she was just with Bill because he was paying the bills. Like she was giving big back activity, as Charlemagne would say, because she just needed, she needed to establish
Hmm.
her her setup. She needed to be, to get that under wraps. And yeah, they loved each other though, more than they
Yeah.
loved the people that they was really with.
Hmm. Yeah, it was heartbreaking that they let others prevent them from coming together. Yeah, it was very
Ooh,
heartbreaking.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Even
hated that
Bill
too.
said, "You will forgive Truman before you forgive me," and I was like,
Right.
"Dang!" But she didn't, though.
That's what you don't
That
know,
was
right?
tragic. Yeah. So this part really did something for me, child. Listen, even though he, was gutter snipe, as Iana Van Zant would say, he was gutter snipe trash. He was everything above and below the dirt. But the moment that he was there with her, and you could see her taking her last breath, and the kids there, and he grabbed her hand, it was just so. Oh, child, listen, I don't ever
Yeah.
want to be in that position. I don't.
Ooh,
I don't ever
right.
want to be in that position. I really don't. That was tragic to me. How
That's
did you
when it
feel
was
about
like
about that?
I felt like how you felt. Yeah, it was definitely jerking all the tears up out of me. And
Hmm.
Bill was really just for that one moment. It seemed like, yes, like I love you. I love you, Barbara. Like, wow, like I'm losing her. And
Hmm.
then Kate came in there at the very last minute as she was about to take her last breath, is what it seemed. And I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is so sad. But shout out to the makeup artist because they really had Babe looking like she was going on to glory.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
hearing her gargling her last breath was so
Hmm.
sad. It was.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, man, they better not let this lady do no death rattle up here. I'm about to turn the channel.
Honey. And they did. I was
And
like,
they
Jesus
did.
Christ. Yeah. And it's like she waited on her children,
She
waited on her
waited.
daughter. I'm assuming those other two are in-laws. I only thought she had one son and one daughter.
Right.
Or
I was confused about
I
who
I
all
don't
them
know.
was too.
But Kate walked in right at the nick of time.
Right.
Bill
Only
only
right
got
right at
at right
the
at
end.
the end. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did. He did. He did. Yeah. He really, really did. And that part broke my heart just to see, you know, Oh God. Oh
Ooh,
God.
yes, it was, girl.
Yeah.
Imitation of Life. It was
Mm-hmm.
definitely giving that.
Yes. Yes.
If she would have
You
started
are
talking
right.
about mama,
Okay.
I would have been I would have said, "Oh, no."
Lord no.
Right.
Oh Lord, yeah, that was so sad to see him,
Oh, Bill, right, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only time you can feel bad for him, like, "Oh."
Right, okay.
And
Oh
look,
Lordy,
Truman.
child. So this part scared me for a second. When CZ was trying to wake him up and he went, I'm like, please just be dope to the gills and sleep,
Right.
on all that medicine that you was taking, them pills. Like, Lord Jesus, please. So she's, letting him know that Babe has passed away, and he jumps out the bed and drinks cold coffee or something, because I didn't see him make it. Like, he just jumped and went straight to the kitchen to drink cold coffee. And then he said he has work to do. He has to get to work. He has to write. He has to write a eulogy. And when I tell you,
Yeah,
girl,
like,
he
what?
that did something to me. The way he was talking about her and talking about them as together, about every,
Yes.
like, she's not going. I see her everywhere. It's like she was the omnipotent, she like she was
Epitome.
God.
Yeah,
Like she
yeah,
was God,
basically.
like she's all seeing, all hearing, all, like she was just that much to him. Like he really, really loved this girl, this woman. And it was just a beautiful story about how he loved her and how she was, this person that wanted to be perfect. Well, that was perfect in her own right. And everybody saw her as such. They just didn't know everything that she had going on. And, they would
Mhm.
be at dinner parties, and they, she would look at him and he just walked on off because didn't nobody understand what he had going on after he finished his story. So Babe was like, come on here, I got you. It was
Right.
just, they was just that bond between them two. It was very, very sweet. How did you feel about that?
I thought that it was sweet, but is this when CZ told him that the funeral had already been taking place? Like when he is that did that happen
Uh-uh.
here? CZ didn't
No.
tell him that, huh?
No, this is when CZ tells him that Bill says he can't attend the funeral.
Oh,
And
right,
then
right,
she said, well, let me read the eulogy to me. He said, because can't nobody do it like me.
right.
I need to do this. But, Bill said no, and that is going to have armed security or whatnot there. And I'm like, really, Bill? Is
For
this for
Truman,
Truman, or is this for all those women that you got going on? You think they're going to bum rush the
about to
place?
run up and jump on the casket, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do remember this scene now. I thought that it was messed up Bill talking about that Truman was disinvited or on the not on the guest list when Slim and them gonna call Truman out like, well, he should have came. Like little do
Mm-hmm.
you know, he wasn't even invited. He was told
Yeah.
not to come, rather.
Yeah. He was told not to come, and that broke my heart that he, couldn't go. And I'm with you, my sweet perspective. That was um sad that he couldn't go.
Cause even
Yeah.
Bill knew that that was something Babe really wanted on the low. Like he should have went on and let that happen just for Babe's final wishes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So let's see. And this wait a minute, let me go back to that picture. This reminded me of when my sister passed. I did her entire lineup, the funeral. I
Mm,
just like, and that made me think about that because I had the details just right, because I said my sister is not coming to get
right.
me. I know who gonna read scriptures. I know who gonna preach. I know who gonna do this, that, and the third, because she not coming to get me. And I
She's
don't play them
not.
kind of games about the dead. We're not playing.
That is true. You
No.
said no. I'm doing right by her.
Mm-mm.
Hello.
No, I'm doing right by my sister. Listen, I'm not playing with this, because she gonna get upset that we let this certain person preach the scripture.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
She gonna be like,
The
wait,
person
why
can't.
did
He
y'all
can't read
say
a scripture. He can't read a
right?
scripture. He,
She be so
no.
mad. Andy, why
I
did you
said,
let this fool get up there?
And me and my sister and my cousins, we always joke about that all the time. Like, no, we not playing them kind of games. So Bill must have knew that. Well, no, Babe gonna get Bill anyway, because you ain't let Truman come to this funeral, so Bill
Right.
gonna get it. Oh my goodness, goodness gracious. So we see that everything is coming to plan just like Babe wanted. In her absence, you see the napkins are folded and tucked just right with the silverware. We see these desserts are being prepared just right. This is like some kind of fish up top on the right hand
Right.
side. I don't know. And you got the champagne flowing. Everything was perfect.
Yes.
It's what she wanted. We see the maid hugging the children, and then she looks at the ladies and gives them a nod, and we see a
Mm-hmm.
picture of the people that were there at the funeral. How did you feel about those? Just to see the people that were there, and then all those ladies around Bill with his nasty behind.
Already. I said, now you was just all down there crying with your head all on her hand as she
Mm-hmm.
leaving the earth, and you couldn't even wait till she was in the ground, sir, to be up here flirting
Mm-mm.
already,
Couldn't wait.
pursuing his next he done
Vic.
probably got married 3 times after this.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I really believe so. It's like I'm missing some slides. Am I missing?
But I
Because
was
I was.
thinking, like, what are the ladies about to when we got to the repass, I was looking at the
Hmm.
time that we had left, and it was still a long time to go. And
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
okay, what is we about to be doing? What
right.
is we about to be
Um,
doing now?
so all those ladies that was around him, I'm like, Bill, really? And then the ladies are sitting there talking about, like all the ladies that were around him, and that he's still rich and he's still young. He's
Yeah.
still here. He's still rich. He still has it all. But then, your wife is gone. So the ladies also can't seem to pick a date because Babe was the glue. How did you feel
Yep.
about them not being able to choose what day they were going to be able to meet up for lunch?
I said, oh yeah, it's over. That's why I'm confusing about episode 8. They don't know when they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be able to meet up. Yeah, Babe and Truman was the show. So I'm saying that maybe we gonna get some, like we said, some time jumps back in the back, or some maybe fantasy moments of Babe and
Mm-hmm.
Truman in heaven, maybe. Who knows? But I could see that too, possibly, like them just being in this little, like, finally getting that moment at the pearly gates to just say, like, oh, I missed
Yeah.
you. I'm sorry, or whatever. But I don't know what these girls gonna be doing. It really kind of seemed like a Real Housewives franchise, like
It
Real House.
did. It did.
Swans is some Real Housewives
Yeah.
material for
For real.
sure.
For real. They
Because it's like,
are.
okay, now that let's just say Nene is gone,
Mm-hmm.
what are the girls about to
Yeah.
be doing?
And then fell apart.
Yep,
Yeah, it don't work. It ain't the stick. The glue ain't gluing no more. Right, Monique? They cannot pick a date. And yes, sweet perspective. Honey, Babe could plan a party. Yes, she did.
that's
And
one
it
thing
was
she was gonna do.
definitely fancy. Everything that she wanted was there. Um, down to every little detail that she wanted. I didn't get to write all the details down, but I do remember what she was saying. And it was like, when she was gonna plan this party, she was like in the summertime, after I die. I'm like, what?
Ooh, right,
Huh? That's what we telling the people, we just gonna throw it
right,
at them like that. Like, okay. CZ is the only genuine swan left, I think. CZ was
yeah.
the only one that wasn't hit with any salacious writing. So yeah, I guess she
And I
was.
don't know how she escaped it, because she definitely had drama. I
Yeah.
think it's crazy because as much as Truman favored Babe, like CZ was right up there with Babe,
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't like spill her tea pretty much. And she
Mm-hmm.
stayed being his friend the whole time. Even when the girls didn't know, she was running him back, talking to him.
Right. So we see Truman. Lord have mercy.
This
This
man.
part had me so confused. I'm
I
like, what the
know.
hell?
These little fantasy dream sequence
Oh,
delusions. I don't know what's
girl.
going on.
I was like, okay, Truman. So, and I hope I didn't miss a part. I got my notes. I think I did.
You think
So,
you
did we?
missed something?
Is this when he? Yeah, I missed it. Okay, he was drunk as a skunk on the doggone TV show, child.
Oh my God, yes.
I say, I got these notes to help me stay, keep me there.
Your
He
key
was drunk
points.
as a skunk.
That was
He was
embarrassing.
talking all crazy, all reckless, and he couldn't even get his words out. Like the guy didn't understand what he was saying. He was like, "Are you drunk now? What do you mean? Like today?"
Right.
Yeah, like did you do it? Like, do you have something like a needle, like a IV in your vein with it leaking, tapping through? Because what is going
He
on?
had the little plasma bag full of something stuck to him
Okay,
and be
okay,
sipping on it or something.
he got it bad. I'm like, oh God, it's
Mm-mm.
baby, he was through. He was through.
He
He
was
was through at that
through.
point. It was. He was
Yeah,
drunk
he was
and
on them
high to the
Valium
ground
and
because
Valium.
he was, yes, he was on all those whatever drug he mentioned last week. That's what he was on because he was talking like somebody that was just woke up out of surgery or something. Because
Right.
listen, he
He had
was
the laughing
really,
gas.
yeah, he was really on it. So, um, Jack takes him, not Jack. Is it, yeah, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Jack puts him in a facility to help dry him out. I mean, in Minnesota, they, he and then he talks cold cash shit to Jack. Like
I said,
you don't get it. You still got to talk junk to this man. And at that point, Jack was done. Jack said, "I'm
right.
done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm gonna help you with this, but after that, it's a wrap. I'm done.
I'm
My
washing my
boyfriend
hands.
has told me to come help you because he don't want you laying in your own vomit because I didn't care about you laying in your vomit, but he told me to take you and get you somewhere to dry out. Way in Minnesota. Why Minnesota? I don't know, but
Right.
I like that he told him he had somebody, but it was hard for him to love now because of how Truman treated him. How did
Right.
you feel about that whole scenario, about that whole scene about them being in the drying out facility and how he talked to Jack?
I always feel sorry for Jack because Jack always has Truman back and take Truman back no matter what. And Truman just don't appreciate that at all. Like he do not care. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was not one clear word in that interview. And the
And
real
yeah,
interview
we need
is
to watch
on
that real
YouTube,
interview
y'all.
and then we need to talk about it.
Please watch that real one. Right,
We need
cuz
to find the real
man,
one. And then we need to discuss it
we
because
do.
listen, he was, oh God. I don't know what to say other than he was done. He was
He
done
was,
done.
and then Jack didn't even have to do him the solid. Like you said, Jack's new little boyfriend told him
Mm-hmm.
like, "Go help out your friend," because at that point, yeah, I guess Jack still sees him as a friend. Like he was just
Mm-hmm.
walking in the park and giving him. He still tries to advise him to his, like he ain't trying to tell him nothing wrong. Like he
Right.
only still has Truman's best interest at heart, and Truman
Mm-hmm.
do not care. Like the way that he was just so ignorant at the end when he was like, "Chick, don't leave me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay."
then he just continues to insult this man. Like, why do you have to insult everybody that shows you
That really
genuine
love
friendship, genuine love? Like, why do you have to do these people wrong? I don't know what kind of mechanism that is
it's
that people
coping
do have
something, huh?
when they treat people like that. Somebody trying to help you and they don't have to help you. They're being kind to you and genuinely showing you love, and you still want to talk shit to them. Like even
Mhm.
John. John was a cuckoo. It's Cocoa Puffs, but you still did John wrong in front of people every chance you got, and then he ain't mind pounding your face in, which was not right. However, you don't talk to people any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just Truman was a
I
piece of
don't
work.
get it. He was talking
Yeah.
mess to his new little thing too. Robert. When he had that delusion of Robert getting up out the water, and he was like, "The water's nice." I'm like, I know this man bet not be back up in here. But he was talking to him crazy in the last episode too.
Hmm.
Like, I don't get. He's just toxic. He is
Yeah.
toxic.
Yes. And she does have the voice down. Yes.
Yes, Ashley. You're gonna be one of the swans next. You're gonna be my next protege.
Oh Lordy have mercy. I think that what is his self-loathing, I think he really hated himself and wanted to be a swan and knew he
Mhm.
never could be tragic. That's
Yes,
tragic.
definitely giving that.
Yeah.
We was saying that
So,
in, episode 1 through 5 when we did that recap
mhm,
too, like, yeah, some of the boys that be around just
mhm,
really don't be like one of the girls for real, like, they be hating
mhm.
on the low. Not all the
Yeah, they
time,
do
but
be
it
hating on him.
definitely
Yeah.
be sometimes where it just be like, "Yes, you're here and you're hating."
Mhm. And then they know it's a stigma to be, gay back then.
Right.
He really couldn't be out like that. And he always felt, around when he was with Babe and her friends, he always felt like the outsider.
Mhm.
He was always like the entertainment, as they
Yep.
stated, they were the entertainment. He was like their purse, their, like they
Accessory,
saying
huh?
the accessory. Yes, you really not. You just are sort of kind of a hanger on,
Mhm.
kind of useless in a way.
Right.
Um, I don't know anybody like that person that treats people like that, because anybody I know that's gay, they my friend, made my friend for real.
Right.
They're not an accessory for
Exactly.
me. Hell, I might be the accessory for them. I don't know. But
Okay.
that's not, no. Mm-mm. That's why he say salacious shit. Yeah, yeah, he
Yep.
definitely gets the attention. For real, for real. He definitely gets it, whether it's good or bad. He gets it. So we see he is so it kind of goes back and forth this part when he's with Joanne. He's by the pool. He's drinking alcohol still yet, even after he was in Minnesota to dry out. Now he's drinking alcohol. We see Rick diving, but I think
Yeah,
that maybe have
Rick.
been a dream portion, because
Mhm.
I think Rick was done with him. Of course, we see Babe in the in that big swan. Of course, we know he's dreaming, but you know all of his writings are now in the pool, and he's drowning, trying to save himself, trying to save his writings, and he can't. Um, and then Joanne pulls him out of the pool, and of course she says, Richard Simmons Pilates,
Good
whatever
thing
she
I've
was
been
doing,
doing.
why she got her strength to think about. How did you feel about this scene of him in the pool drowning, like he wanted to drown? I don't know. He kept seeing all these different people. How did you feel about that?
I said, first, let me back a little bit. How?
Mm-hmm.
Because when Jack told him that he was gonna send him to Joanne, why he was trying to talk mess? She buys her lamps from Pier 1.
Right.
Like, that's just like, what are you saying, sir? Like,
Mm-hmm.
still just so judgmental. This the only lady that's trying to take you in for real. Either you could
Mm-hmm.
stay here or you can go to Joanne's. Like, he just was not. But yeah, when she took him in, it just seems like Truman don't like this lady, and that
Mm-hmm.
he probably was trying to die on her watch to be facetious as like his last ditch effort.
To do
He
something
wanted to
crazy.
die on
I'm
her
just
watch.
die. I'm just die
Right.
with this lady.
And she let him too. She said 911.
Yeah.
He said, what's the address, ma'am? And she said, hell no, I'm not about to be dealing with this.
She was on the Beyonce challenge, child.
Okay. On mute.
Everybody on mute.
Mhm. She just was. She was like,
Yes.
I
So
ain't
even
got
though
a
that
clue.
portion went back and forth, I still
Yes.
it we're gonna still talk about it in a whole. So we see Babe comes to him in his dreams or in his last hours. And she's talking about Joanne's house, about, it looks like what she said, the walls like oatmeal or something. I don't know. She said some crazy.
Yes, she was clowning.
Yeah, that was clowning. Poor Joanne. And I know Johnny
Right.
Carson money was long. I hope it was long back then, but y'all don't play with Johnny Carson. Shoot.
Man, she must have been on a bad little prenup agreement or something.
Or something.
Because the way they talk about Joanne house is like it's down the street. Like it is down the street somewhere.
Oh Lordy. Yeah, yeah. And she pulling from the pool. And I'm like, this woman got a whole pool in her backyard.
Right.
Y'all better stop,
You know she lives somewhere gated.
But
And they
she
acting like
did
Joanne.
enable him, and then stated that she did enable him with the alcohol, and she was gonna go get him a
Mhm.
root beer or right,
A
some right
diet, a dark
diet,
something.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
a
okay,
diet right. A
yeah,
diet right
whatever.
cola. I said,
Yeah,
what?
she calls 911, doesn't say anything, and she just stood there with the drink and the ice, and it just melted. And every time you saw her, it was melting, and then she was
Yep.
crying, and she was in her feelings about, I guess, because she didn't respond to 911 and she just stood there. But the conversation with him and Babe, she was like, he was like, "Am I dead?" She was like, "Well, you've been dying a long time." That was rough. That was deep.
That
You've been
was.
dying a long time.
Right, they act like
Yeah,
Joanne live in the hood.
right.
Oh, but Candy, what
Hmm.
about when Joanne called Jack? And it seemed almost like,
Yeah.
what did Jack tell you to like let him drink himself to death or anything like that, ma'am? Because
Oh,
the way you was saying that you was enabling him and the way that Jack was like kind of on some is it done type of thing. Like I
yeah.
was like, what was this, a setup? Was this all a scheme that Todd
Set up
had
to
set
come
up?
with us with the bulls.
For real. It's looking like a scheme and a scam.
Girl. And
They
then
was tired of Truman.
they were, because he wore everybody out.
He
Like,
did.
he wore everybody out. It's past my bedtime, child.
Nuh-uh, Candy. You
Mm-mm.
are a night owl. You be up
I
late.
am. I am.
You need your nap, huh? You said I had my little
Yes,
nap though.
I do. Let me see. So Babe is, smoking a cigarette. Both of them smoking a doggone cigarette, child. And both started choking. And she listened to his heart. She says it sounds swollen, you know, and along with his kidney and liver. And they talk about the, memories with the book that he wrote about the breakfast at Tiffany's. And he had promised her to never write about her. Ain't that some tragic shit to say to somebody?
That
I'd never write
is.
about you. And did.
And
That was
did.
crazy. And did. He did.
He said something like that, or I think Babe had laughed it off when they was having Babe's last moments. Remember, she was like, "I gotta tell you something, and I don't want you to tell the others." And he was like, "I never tell the others," and she just like laughed, like, "Boy,
Right. You might
please,
not tell the others, you tell everybody.
you gonna tell the world,
Right.
Craig?
Craig.
You gonna tell the world, though, Craig?"
Yes.
Monique said, "I
Yes.
guess Jack want that Truman weightlifter off of him, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you
He
want
wanted
that
that off
weight
of
lifted
him.
off. He's too much.
Yeah. He
He
was
can
too much. And
finally try to heal and not worry about seeing this fool on any live TV show,
hmm
slurring and
that was terrible.
I can't
That was
believe, ain't
terrible.
that crazy how like that was going on in TV back then, back
hmm
way back in the gap, and it still goes on today. Like we have them moments where somebody is out of their mind on whatever, on
hmm
podcasts and stuff like that now.
On
Yep, right.
double cup, as they say, with the double with the two cups, it's
Double
lean.
cupped up,
Yeah,
lean.
and yeah. We got to find that doggone interview. We got to find it. Sweet
Well, we gonna find
perspective.
that.
We have to find
Well, I'm
that
about to look it up.
interview, and we need to discuss it after episode 8. So we
Right.
can do it directly after or whatever, but we need to discuss
Yes, that's a
the
plan, Candy.
original, the original doggone interview, because I need to see how he was really acting in real life. Because ain't no way that man was acting like that on national TV,
Mm-mm.
and they let him do it.
And they said that was entertaining to them. They probably was tuning in. Like when he said that thing about the lady being looking like a drag queen in a trucker, whatever he said, like a trucker in drag or something like that. Like I'm sure he
That
was
baby
drunk
choke.
as a skunk back then. And that's why he was still riding off of that little hot mic moment. Like, oh, Truman
Uh-huh.
gonna say anything, get him on the show.
Yeah, and he will say anything. Hey, he didn't care. He will
Right.
say
He was
whatever he
doing
got
this
to
to keep his
say.
buzz going. That he was trying to stay relevant at that point.
Yeah.
But that last one, that was a mess.
Mm-hmm. So, girl.
Mm-mm.
I'm cold, mama, beautiful babe.
Yeah, babe was his
That,
everything.
listen, the last 3 things he said was I'm cold. He said, Mom, I guess he wanted his mama. And then beautiful babe. She closed his
Mm-hmm.
eyes, and that was that. That that was some that was some shit. I
Right.
just don't know what to say.
Right.
That really made me come to tears because it's like he just closed his eyes with babe. Like he was just by himself. Like nobody was
Mm-hmm.
there. Well, Joanne was on the other side and somewhere still holding their diet right cola with the
Still.
melted ice, watered down. I guess because she didn't know what to do, didn't know how to deal with it. So she didn't want to be in the room with him. And I can
Yeah.
get it, but
Right.
I don't know. But he was with Babe in the end, in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And they were finally together in the end. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I thought it was just a nice touch. That's why it kind of felt like a finale for me to be. Yes, it's so sad. It was very touching. Like they laid each other to rest, and they got their final moment, so to speak, with each other at each other's
Mm-hmm.
passing. I thought that that was really just like bringing everything full circle. Even though we wanted to see them possibly get a meetup and have a conversation face to face, like I think last episode we was hoping for that to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it still ended up happening in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sad to see old messy Truman go.
Yeah, I was sad to see it too. Oh Lord, girl. What would the ladies give in episode 8? What do you think is gonna happen? Episode
They
8.
they about to get their peach revoked. They ain't getting the peach next season. They ain't getting one. They had a little swan. Y'all ain't coming back with no swan. I don't know. I think that I honestly can't even make no assumption because this felt like this was it. Like if
Mm-hmm.
the season went off and this was the last episode, I would be like, okay, I accept it. So I don't know what you girls are about to be doing. Maybe we're gonna go down like showing everybody's life, maybe
Mm-hmm.
after dealing with the loss of Babe and Truman, how that impacts all the ladies individually. That's something
Yeah.
that I could see possibly happening. Or like we were saying, the time jumps, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Cause I don't know. They can't even pick a date. They don't even know when they it's like how? Why won't the same date work for y'all that y'all been going on? Now they don't really mess
All
with
of a
each other like
sudden,
that.
right, all of a sudden we can't pick a date. We
Yeah.
had nothing to talk about. Babe was the glue. And I guess if Babe said Tuesday at 11 o'clock, then that's what we gonna do. Babe not
Yeah.
here. Hey, well, I got something to do that day. Well, no, I got to go this place. I got to go that place. I got to go to the jeweler. I got to get my jewelry cleaned or my diamonds shined up. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know what's going to happen in this next episode. I guess, like you say, we may see a flashback or a flash forward time jump. See, maybe go through all of his financial things. I don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Thank
Thank
you very
you. Thank you. Thank you.
much.
Thank you. And don't go nowhere. We need to talk about this we're gonna find the real interview and
Oh,
we're gonna discuss
yes.
it.
Yes,
Yes,
we gonna find that.
yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But this was a very interesting story. I never knew about Truman Capote. I
Me
heard about
neither.
Breakfast at Tiffany's and things like that. And some of the ladies, I heard about them, but I've never heard about him per se. So this was very interesting to me. It was brand new to me, and I enjoyed it from beginning to now. I watched each episode 3 or 4 times. I've talked about it to my
Mhm.
coworkers. I got them watching it. My family watching it. My husband won't watch it because I be talk. I guess I talk. Everyone I talk about stuff too
Talking
much.
too
He like
much,
I'm not
huh?
watching it. Yeah, I talk about it too much. He not watching it.
That is funny.
Oh,
Yes, I be
yes.
trying to talk my coworkers into watching it too, but I don't think nobody has really watched it yet. But I know that once it's over, they're gonna be all wanting to jump on and talk to me about it.
Hmm.
It's like it's too late. We've
Right.
moved on,
Yeah. When I was
ladies.
ready to discuss it, you act like you didn't know what I was talking about. You
Right.
didn't
So I
want to
had to
do
go to my YouTube family and talk
it.
there. But yeah, I'm like you, Candy. I knew about Truman Capote or Capote because of Philip Seymour Hoffman. He played him in one of the first Capote, like, I guess,
Mhm.
biopics, and that's an actor that I really enjoyed when he was in The Talented Mr. Ripley, and,
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah,
you
yeah.
remember him? And
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
knew
yeah,
he
yeah.
was in that movie. I didn't know what it was about. I knew he was like
Mhm.
a figure, but this was so cool. I loved, like, just the wardrobe. All of the ladies was
Mhm.
always dressed down, like, and that's just how they were in real life based on the little documentaries that I've been seeing on the circle. Like, it was so many friends of the show, so to speak, that
Mhm.
was in this Swan circle too. Like Gloria Vanderbilt, she
Mhm.
was one of the Swans, and I remember, like, people not wanting to buy her clothes because they were saying she was racist. But the reason why people thought she was racist is because she married, like, a Nazi German. That's how she got the Vanderbilt last name. Oh,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Vanderbilt,
yeah,
von
yeah.
Furstenberg. Yeah, von Furstenberg, Gloria von Furstenberg.
Okay,
So
okay, 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 okay.
she was actually, though, Mexican, and she was just trying to pass
Okay.
and had the
I
German
did not
last
know that.
name. Exactly. Candy, I was up here,
Oh,
I was
girl.
doing a little Starbucks run, and I was sitting in Starbucks, like, listening and drinking my little caramel macchiato. I was like, oh my God, what? As soon as it started getting boring, and they was like, Gloria then took on the moniker von Furstenberg. And I was like, oh, that's that designer. Wow.
Okay, 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 okay. I'm about to go do some more research because every time I'm
Yes,
looking at
you gotta
something, here
find
come
that link.
another one, and I be trying not to go down a rabbit hole. However,
It's hard.
we get stuck. It's hard not to go. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up because it's hard not to go. But this was very, 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 very entertaining. I can't wait to see what the next episode is gonna bring to us. I just
Yeah.
hope it gives us a grand closing because this
Right.
did feel like a closing, of the season. I don't know what Ryan Murphy's gonna do for a few season 3. I would like to see what he's
Ooh.
going to do. I forgot who they said he was supposed to do, but ending up doing this one. I think it the Kennedy, not the Kennedys. It was somebody presidential, I think, that he was supposed to
Ooh.
do, but he ended up doing this.
I was
And I
thinking,
heard that
like,
the
who
day
could
after the
it
video I
be?
watched sent me down the rabbit hole. I probably looked at
Mhm.
5 or 6 videos, and I'm like, oh Jesus. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I go down the rabbit hole.
You're like, where
Um,
did the time go? 5
Yeah,
hours
I didn't
later.
know. They just kept going and going and going, and I'm like, "This is the same video." I was like, "Oh."
Right. Next thing you know, it been time to go to bed.
Yeah, right. Oh, you found it, Monique?
Ooh, Monique
Drop it.
found it.
Thank
Yes.
you. Drop it. Oh, you can hop on too. You can hop on
Yes.
too.
Hop
Stop
on,
playing.
Monique,
You can hop on
please.
too. Yeah, because we need to have a good discussion about this. Because I like to listen to other people's perspective of what they think about his mental, about his how he grew up, the ladies about why they did the things they did, like Charlamagne say, big back energy. Hell, everybody got big back energy when you think
Right.
about it, dude. Whether
Yeah.
it's something you want to deal with, whether it's financial gain or status or what, everybody got it. It ain't no
Mhm.
size when it comes to that. Because if your little ones do it too, and Babe, even though she was
Right.
a fictional character, she was real life character.
Real
And
life.
hey, it is what it is.
And
It's
she
no
barely
size.
had a back. You see,
Right,
they
okay?
wasn't eating. All it was eating was cigarettes. I wonder what kind of cigarettes that they was smoking.
Listen,
They
I
probably
don't
was
know.
smoking them little. I wish I would have seen somebody with a little skinny brown cigarette.
Virginia Slim.
One of them little, or a Capri. Like, there was I just used to be looking at cigarettes in the gas station, like, you could tell the ones that's marketed towards women,
Mm-hmm.
men, like
Yeah,
black people, white people. Like, oh
yeah,
my gosh,
yeah, yeah.
somebody pull out the little brown cigarette.
What was the brown cigarette?
I don't know, but that was the only one that I would see, and it would just make me. So look, my mom used to have this hairstylist back in the day, and we would have to go in the hair salon with her and watch her. Like, just have to be present during this long
Mm-hmm.
process. As a kid, you miserable. And her hairstylist was this little gay guy, and he used to have this little brown cigarette, and his name was Coffee. And I just used to think, like, coffee is so like this man smoking a brown cigarette. Who does that? Like I ain't never seen that. I thought like, why would anybody smoke a cigarette? But I could see at that point, it seemed like if I were to smoke, it would be that one because he making it
Mm,
look cool. But yeah, never
that's
never
crazy.
got around to doing it.
Wow. I thought you
Thank
might have been
God.
talking about the little extension thing that they would stick the cigarette in, I guess to keep their hands from getting or
Like
smelling like
stood
smoke.
on it
I
or
guess.
something.
I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what that little long extension piece was for. That's
Like a
out of my
cigarette
league.
holder. Like right,
Yeah,
extra
like
fancy.
yeah, because Babe had one
Whoever
in
the
this
bill.
episode, but child, no,
They
that's not
was
my move.
smoking the roof off. Like, okay, she said that is
They
not my
were.
ministry.
They kept puffing. I'm like, okay, well, if you like it, baby, I love it. Hey, do your
He was like,
thing. But
put the cigarette down.
yeah, he snatched out her hand and threw it in his little rum or whatever he was drinking, and she pulled out another one. I'm like, you're supposed to have taken the pack, Bill. Like you're supposed to
Right.
take the pack, not just the cigarette out of her hand.
He ain't got the heart to do that.
No, it was too late. It was too late. Just leave her alone. It's a wrap. She accepted her 6 months and her fate, and that was that on that.
And it ain't
I,
like
I
Bill was really sorry at the end. He was still trying to get his freak on at the end. And the
listen.
place.
Yeah, had them 6 or 7 women around him. I'm like, okay, which one is gonna be bedded tonight? Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just oh gosh. Well, girl, honey boo, I appreciate you for coming through and doing this with me. We're gonna do this again next week, and hopefully we can get the
Yep.
other two ladies together so we can do that extension,
That'd be so
the
awesome.
add on to the episode 8, so we can talk about Truman Capote, however you say it. In a whole let's see. She said Bill said life is too short. Yeah, he did say life is too short.
He said,
He
I need a wife for every
said
because he
that.
don't see a wife like he need the wife to serve as like whatever. Like, oh my gosh,
He
y'all.
don't need a wife. The kid's grown.
They
He just
gone now,
need
right? I
he
don't
just
even
need
know
a
why he
mattress.
need. Yeah, he just
A maid, mattress,
exactly.
and a mule.
He don't
As
need
they
right. He got the maid already, and she on the
yeah.
payroll. All he need is a
Okay.
mattress. You right. That's
Listen.
it, man. Bill is a
Mm-mm.
mess. But yeah, I can't
We
wait
got
to
this
get.
one, Monique. We'll use that. I guess we can go back and see it. I can click on it in the chat.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. But what you got coming up on your channel, hun?
Tomorrow, make sure that y'all tap in for another Sunday smoke session. I don't know what I'm gonna be talking about. I know I am gonna be talking about BMF. I don't feel the need to do like a full recap of it because everybody else just is doing a good job at that. Like I be saying, like I enjoy watching everybody's BMF and just power recaps anyway. So I'm gonna just hit the spots, the moments that just made me feel some kind of way and throw some current events in there. I'm definitely still going to be talking about some stuff that I dig up on the Swans, because I just got to still keep the fire flaming until that next
Okay.
episode. Yeah,
Okay.
but other than that, that is all for me right about now. What about you, Candy?
I don't have anything going on. My mind tells me what I got going on, and then my body just doesn't follow through. So in my mind, I got a lot going on, but ain't nothing popping up on the channel. But of course, next week
Right.
we will be here to do this again, episode 8, and if we can get the my sweet perspective and Monique 69 Ways Johnson to jump on with us to do the other video that we saw that Monique sent to us, we can discuss
Mm-hmm.
him and that I can do the comparison and whatnot. Because ain't no way he was like that. I don't want to believe it.
If he was,
I don't want to believe
that show
it.
was a cold piece of work. They could have went to
Okay.
commercial. They could have went to commercial.
Okay. Like he didn't have no PR or nothing, because ain't no way a manager was gonna let nobody. And I know he was walking like Weekend at Bernie's for real.
He definitely was. They need now. That's when he needed the wheelchair at the door. They need to be waiting on Truman with that wheelchair.
He give us a weekend at Bernie's vibe. Listen, I tell you, okay.
Oh my God. Mm-mm. And
All
always
right,
had that little hat.
darling. Okay, and them
Yes.
glasses and his cigarettes and a drink in his
And a
hand.
scarf.
Yes. Yeah, they keep his throat warm so he
That
can
keep
keep
his neck
talking,
up.
keep talking junk. Yeah, keep his vocal cords warm.
Right.
All right, darling. It was fun talking with you about Capote and the Swans and the tragic death of Babe and Truman. Oh gosh, that really broke my heart. But I
Yeah.
appreciate you for coming through. Thank you for everybody that came through. Monique,
Yes.
Derry, My Sweet Perspective. We appreciate you. OTOT, thank you for
OT,
coming.
Inga.
Inga Binga, and who else? Everybody else that came through. We appreciate you all. I forgot to do it last week, shout you out. But I'm still new to this thing, so
Right.
charge it to my heart, my head, and not my heart, because my
Right.
intentions were to do this, but I had to make sure I do it this time. Had to write my little note down, call them out, get a little roll
Okay.
call. So everybody on the replay gang, type hashtag replay gang. As Tamika's Den says, put some flames up in the sky. Let me know that you came through. Okay. Like
Okay.
Tamika got it going on. Her
She be
intro and
like, hello,
outro.
hello, hello.
She got it down pat now, listen. She got the intro
Yes.
and outro. I'm not gonna bite it.
Right.
I'm not gonna bite it. But if you got some flames up in the sky, do that for me. Do that for
Right.
Aries as well. We appreciate the support. Let the people know that you like what you see, that you watch it. Make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe to both our channels. And until the next time, have a good night.
We'll see y'all.